and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and I have a yarn shop in Plymouth Devon called So Jealous, and today's tutorial is going to be for a magic ring alternative, a hack, a cheat code if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the chain 2 technique, and we will do that first in acrylic yarn and then I will show you in chenille. We do this because some people find it difficult seeing the stitches in chenille yarn. So like I said, this is a Amigurumi magic ring hack. The acrylic yarn I'm using is James C. Brett Top Value, and I'm using Woolens Baby chenille yarn, which is my preferred brand. Now I'm using a 5.5 metal crochet hook. Ordinarily I wouldn't use something as large as that for Amigurumi. I typically work around about a 4.5, but a 5mm is also fine. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a slip knot. Now I do have another video about slip knot and chaining, which is much more in depth, but what we're going to do is we're going to take our tail, making sure it's to the left of us, and I call this like an upside down elongated U shape. I'm sure there's a better name for it. And I want to create this X shape, but I need to make sure that on the left hand side my thumb and my pointer finger are coming up from the bottom, and I'm going to grab this piece of yarn I'm pointing to and I'm literally going to pull it through the loop that's created on my thumb and finger, and then we're going to pull that tight. And when I insert my crochet hook, I do want to make sure that my tail is lying on the top of the knot and is facing towards me. And then I have just tightened that up to make it slightly tighter on my hook. And then we're going to chain, and we chain by going from behind to the front around the crochet hook. So behind, around to the front, making sure it's caught in the throat of the crochet hook, and then we pull through. So again, we're wrapping, we're twisting our crochet hook down, making sure the yarn is in the throat, and we pull through. And for this hack, all we need to do is chain 2, and you can see that I've chained 2 because I've got 2 V shapes there. That V formation is our chain. And what we're going to do is we're going to do our magic ring stitches into the second chain from the loop, which will be the first chain that we made. So I'm going in, I'm wrapping, I'm coming out, and I'm wrapping and I'm pulling through, which is your single crochet technique. Now what I'm going to do now is put a stitch marker here, because this is the first stitch of my magic ring in air quotation marks. We're obviously doing this cheat code hack today. So this is my first stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to insert my stitches into that first chain. So into my cave, wrap, coming out of my cave, wrap, and pulling through both loops on my hook. And I'm just showing you here that first stitch and the hole that you're working into, and you're going to continue to crochet until you've got the desired number of stitches. Now here I'm just moving my tail out of the way. You can just move that out of the way. You don't need to be precious about your tail and crocheting over it, moving it out of the way to crochet around it. So for this tutorial, I'm doing 6 single crochet into that second chain from my hook. And you'll know that you've got 6 because again, you'll see that your stitches form alongside the edge of the rounded piece and they make that V formation. And that looks exactly the same whether you do the magic ring or whether you do this chain 2. So in order to start our new round, we need to go into that first stitch there, which we've marked with our stitch marker, and you need to make sure that you're going under both parts of the stitch. So that's both parts of the V formation, the front and the back loop. Just showing you that here. So we're going to do a single crochet as we've done before, and traditionally with Amigurumi the first round is an increase round, which means you do 2 stitches in 1 stitch. So I've just done a second stitch in the same place, which is now giving me 2, and again I'm marking my first stitch of the 2 with that stitch marker. So we're going to continue to increase 2 stitches for every 1 that we have in the previous round, and we should end up with 12. So let's speed this up a little bit. So what I'm doing here is just doing 2 stitches in every stitch of the previous round. So I go from 6 stitches to 12 stitches, and that's very typical for Amigurumi projects. So here's my 12th stitch. So I have done my first official round of my amigurumi. So I've got my chain 2 sort of foundation, and then I've got my increase round. But you can see here that my chain 2 method has still left me with a bit of a hole. And this is where your tail is really important. You would ordinarily leave a slightly longer tail than I have here. So we thread that on our darning needle, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug my tail just to double check what direction my tail was coming out from. And it's important that we continue in the same direction. So if I'm pulling, I need to make sure that I continue in that same direction, which is what I'm doing here. Now you can see here what I'm picking up are 2 little bars that sit on the underside of your project in your magic ring, and that's 2 bars of each stitch. So I'm just pointing them out. What we want to do is we want to weave our tail underneath those bars. Now many people will tell you who do amigurumi to just work over your tail in your first official round, which is usually your increase round. I don't believe that, because if you need to tighten your tail, you end up actually tightening that first round, which leaves you with a cone shape. When you're doing things like heads for amigurumi toys, you really don't want that cone shape. So this to me is the elite way to go, underneath these pairs of stitches. And I also use this technique in my proper magic ring tutorial if you want to see. And what I've then done is I've gently but firmly pulled that tail that I've been weaving underneath to cinch it closed. So let's do that again, but let's show you now in the chenille yarn. So I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm creating my slip knot with my elongated U shape. I'm twisting, making sure my thumb and pointer finger are coming up on the left hand side, and I'm going to, in a pincer motion, grab this piece of yarn and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to pull tight. Now remember, with chenille yarn, because of its structure, we need to make sure that we don't pull incredibly tight, because else we will damage the integrity of that chenille yarn strand. So you can see there that I'm making sure that I've got enough room for my hook to move through relatively loosely. And again, we're going to chain 2. So here's our first chain. And remember, we wrap from behind to the front, and there's our second chain. And as before, we're going to do all of those 6 stitches in the second chain from the hook. So that is the chain closest to the knot, the very first one that we made. So I'm going into the cave, wrapping and coming out, and then wrapping and pulling through both loops. And you can see that I've got my stitch because of that V formation shape. And I'm going to put a stitch marker there because that indicates that is my first stitch. So again, we're going to do 6 of these. That's 2. This is the hole that I'm working into. It's that first chain. This is number 3. And again, I'm just moving my tail out of the way. Stitch number 4, stitch number 5, and stitch number 6. So that's my 6 single crochet in what has become our magic ring. We're doing this as a chain 2 hack, but it's still a magic ring. So I now need to work on my increase round. So I remove the stitch marker. I'm just showing you here again, the stitches run along the edge of the work rather than at the top of the work like you do with rows. So again, I'm just pointing out here the V shape, that's a stitch. This is a stitch. Because again, people find finding the stitches of chenille yarn quite tricky. And the trick is to remember they run alongside the side of the work. So here we go. We are going to remove our stitch marker, and we're going to make sure, picking up both parts of our stitch, we're going to complete 1 single crochet. And because this is an increase round, I'm going back into that same stitch and completing a second. And as before, I'm marking the first of those 2 increase stitches. So we're going to do this all the way around. So I'm not going to speed this up because I want to show you how you have a look at your stitches. So I'm moving my fingers, I'm looking for that V shape, making sure that my hook goes underneath both the front loop and the back loop of the stitch. And if that front loop and back loop terminology is new to you, I do suggest you go back and look at my other crochet videos, which will explain the front loop, the back loop, and just the stitch formation in general. So we're getting to our last increase stitch here. So you can see that I'm in the same position as I was with the acrylic yarn. Lovely stitches, but I've still got this hole in the center. So again, we're going to come to the back of our work. I've left myself a longer tail this time. We're going to thread that onto our darning needle, and when working with chenille yarn I recommend plastic because again it just doesn't affect the integrity of the fibre the same way that metal does. And I'm picking up those pairs that run along the back, so you can see here picking them up just to show you that they're there. And we're going to be making sure that we work along the back side. I'm flipping it to the front, and so long as I can't see my darning needle, I'm quite comfortable that I've only picked up the back of the stitch. So we're going to work into that back loop, those pairs, that pair, and the next pair. And the reason I'll do 3 at a time is because again I want to limit the amount of friction on my yarn. So I'm going to flip this over. I can't see my darning needle, so I've gone through the back, and I'm going to pull in one motion in the same direction. I'm following through with my pull all the way through to the end. You can see that there. And again, I don't want to come back on myself. I'm following through to reduce that friction. And then underneath this pair, the next pair, and the final pair, because we had 6 in this magic ring. I'm going to check to make sure that I can't see my darning needle through the front, which I can, and then I'm going to pull. And again, I just very gently sort of pinch where my needle and yarn is coming out from. And then as before, I'm going to do a slow but firm pull. It's really important we don't do a fast pull because you will break the fibre. And you can see there how beautiful that now looks. Now, just to show you that this is a legitimate hack, I'm going to show you the magic ring traditional technique that I've done in a previous video. So there's the traditional magic ring. Here is our hack, our cheat, and you literally can't tell the difference. We hope you enjoy this technique, especially working with chenille yarn.